Reed, explain to me what the fuck just happened, dude.
Should have tied, could have tied, did not tie.
And, you know, my brother Howie, who works for the Raiders, called me, actually FaceTime me, and was gloating. And I said, you know what? Y'all deserve it. Y'all are the real winners because you were willing to tie. And that's the truth, man. Like, I do get the dick measuring contest there. Like, hey, he warned us. At Dayton, that would be coffee talk or something, whatever we said it was. And it's no bueno. But this is the NFL, right? And these guys want to keep playing. They want their playoff checks. They want a chance in the dance. Now we got Justin Herbert sitting at home.
Gone fishing.
It's like a Ferrari. It's in the shop.
Man.
Where's the Ferrari? It's Ferrari week in town.
But
doing a parade. No, it's in the shop.
But we're taught our entire life playing the game is about winning. It's not about tying. A tie is like kissing your sister, they say.
No question. And listen, the bet I had, I needed a win. So for Brandon Staley to do that, no problem. Okay? But if I'm on the Chargers, man, I want to keep playing. Who's the oldest guy on the Chargers? You know, there's some guys on that team who have not been to the playoffs. I don't know. There's probably an old guy on that team who hadn't been to the playoffs.
Jared Cook, I think he's been.
Jared Cook's been.
Andre Roberts.
Watch, there's
Linval
going
Joseph.
There's going to be nobody who hasn't been. Linval's been there. They've all been to the playoffs, but they still want their fucking playoff checks, okay? There's somebody on that team that hasn't been to the playoffs. It might be a trainer. That person wants to go to the playoffs, right? They don't have that chance now. And listen, and I mean this as a compliment, Brandon Staley is a football psychopath. Listen, he's probably thinking in his head like John Madden's watching. What would John Madden do, right?
Yep.
What do you think John Madden would say?
You go for the win.
You go for the win, right?
Go for the win.
And everybody would have been like, this is awkward. I got to argue with John Madden.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because he probably would be like, what is this tie bullshit?
This is bad for me to be putting a take in John Madden's mouth. But I just imagine Matt was smiling and now he's saying, yes, it is bad. So, so why don't I even look? So, I mean, I'm just saying somebody old school, like people we really revere, would be so on Brandon Staley's side. They would be so Vince Lombardi, fucking Herm Edwards.
There was ties.
You play to win the game, dude.
There was always ties. Like in NFL, like has this happened a lot? Like I feel like this is the most it's ever been.
I don't think this has ever happened, dude.
Yeah, like we're all sitting here, and it's kind of like a lot of people watching are almost. I feel like we were hoping. Everyone was kind of hoping for a tie. Like when does that ever happen?
This transcended football. This was theater, dude. Here's the deal. Like they can really post. I said this on the YouTube. They can really post really cliche headlines tomorrow, like. They saved the best for last. The best for last. Just don't even try to be different tomorrow. If you got a newspaper, just write that motherfucker right there.
Yo.
The best for last.
Roger Goodell.
That was the best game of the year on the last.
He is tomorrow. He's walking around with BDE.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
because he's going to be like, look at that product. What can you ask for more? We start the season with a bunch of overtime
and he
games.
Gets the Steelers in, man. The Steelers. Nobody needs to see that offense right now, but we got to see them anyways.
Nobody.
Because they're resilient and Tomlin's a great coach and all that, but really, nobody really wants to see the Steelers play. They saw that last year in the playoffs.
I wonder how Linval feels. If I remember, Linval is a dude, like you said, like, people will be looking forward to those playoff checks, and you think about the extra things you might buy your wife, the extra car you might get, the extra this or that. And I know a lot of people, now thinking about it, you're probably really like, when you're in that position, it's 30 seconds to go. There's 30 seconds. You're like, hey,
I'm so interested. I'm so interested.
Me too.
I am really happy I wasn't.
Like, how would you have felt? Like, how would
if I'd never been to the playoffs, dude?
Like,
dude,
if that was like St. Louis, like your last year in St. Louis, if it, like, storybook ending, it's going to that.
My life will always. I won 2 Super Bowls, but I am fucked up in the head because I didn't go to the playoffs for a long time. Like a long time. I will never be okay, dude. I won't. I got really lucky at the end. But when you have an opportunity, like for a long time, and you watch other teams do it, you get so good at like just going to a bar and watching
Yeah.
I was at McGrady's more than I was on a field during the playoffs.
Oh man.
I'm just serious, dude.
Shout out to McGrady.
Yeah, R.I.P. to that pub over there.
Yeah, but they got the Dairy Mart, which is really cool.
Okay, now you can get some fucking, you can get, I don't know,
South and Central, baby.
like artisan food in a courtyard. Cool.
And really
there was an Irish bar that I could watch the best playoff games there, but I always was sad about like sitting there and watching because you're like, fuck, I'll never get to do this. I think there was probably some things broken in that locker room. And listen, I totally respect having morals because tomorrow.
How does the GM feel? How does the owner feel?
I don't know. I'm sure they
Like,
talked about it.
You think
something
so,
like
though?
that? Yeah. Oh, I bet you. Bet you.
So you think if they talked about it, you think that?
I think they
that the
okayed going
coach-
for the win, or it's your team. You know you got to make that decision.
That's
or
what I'm
something
saying.
Like
Do
that.
you think they said that like you make the decision, but really in their head like, hey, we want to make the playoffs?
I don't know.
Because if I'm an owner of a team, like an extra game
This is
of
a
my
fly
team
on the wall.
playing,
It's the whole thing, dude. But the Chargers also made so many mistakes in that game. I mean, we were talking about it on the stream. 4th and 1, backed up, bad. Hate the call. Hate going for it. I really do. I know Decision Bot disagrees with me, but you're a fucking robot. I'm a human being. I get to feel things, emotions. I have context that I weigh in. That was not the time to go, and I didn't like the call and the special teams early, right? What else? The 41-yard penalty before the half. Terrible. I hated that on Chris Harris.
Yep.
Hated that. Carr's throwing the ball to the win. Product placement.
and they
that
actually
product placement.
and they actually missed a lot of calls also.
A lot of calls, man. Every time the Chargers made a play, I felt like I looked down at the bottom of the screen, and I know calls went both ways.
Yeah,
Both ways.
both ways. But there was a big face mask that
Big
probably
face mask was
should have
missed.
been-
It was missed.
should
But
have
hey,
been
you
called.
Raiders are okay, and congratulations to you because I really am. Like, I was having a hard time rooting for a bet and then also, like, thinking about the fact that I really like watching Max Crosby play. I was like, am I doing the right thing here?
If you all are in Brandon Staley's shoes, do you go for 2 at the end of regulation?
Well, knowing what I know now, fuck yeah. Okay? If you know that you're going to do some shit like that, just spare me. Go for 2. I mean,
Yeah, I guess so.
if you're that gung-ho, you're playing to win, like, go for 2.
Yeah, because at that point you're betting on the coin toss kind of.
There's a lot that can go on after that. And I know on the stream I was like, no, kick the extra point, but I didn't know that he was going to do that shit.
No one knew.
Listen,
I wonder if he knew.
Okay, tomorrow, I'm just saying, this is going to be a debate. Carson Wentz is saved by this. Think about that. You want to go do something? You want to go rob a bank, something like that? You want to go hold up a convenience store? Let's do it because nobody's going to talk about it tomorrow. They'll be talking about this.
Yeah, they will.
This is some. Oh man, you should have seen Skip Bayless and fucking Shannon Sharp and all those guys when they saw the end of this game. Woo, Kenny Powers. Hey, this is like great TV. So
media frenzy.
It's great TV.
Everyone's
And
everyone's getting their best lines together.
Oh my God,
their
dude.
puns and their metaphors and similes.
Just keep it simple. Best for last. And I don't know. I'm just reminding you that there's going to be a lot of people screaming about Brandon Staley, but there's also people who are going to be on his side, and they're going to be people you respect. So just know that, like, tomorrow,
It's a hard off season for him.
this isn't politics, okay, people? Like, this is football. So buckle up tomorrow.
He's gonna have a hard time at the country club in this off season, whatever country club
Staley?
he's a part of. Yeah. Like, cause people like to give you people who don't really know football, no sports, like they casually.
I got to tell you, he's got balls, man. He really does, because think about just the social anxiety you might have to go to, like, the gas station.
That's what I'm saying.
Pumping your gas.
He's not gonna want to. I think this is gonna be hard. This is gonna be a tough pill to swallow. Anyway, any way you put it, this is a tough pill to swallow because at the end of the day, you could have got your team in the playoff. You could have got your team in the playoff and have a chance. The ultimate thing is to try to win a championship. And by tying, you would have gave your team that chance. And by what you did, it didn't end up the way you guys wanted. And I don't know.
You also robbed your players of a very special opportunity to buy a full-size pickup truck with leather interior via a playoff check. So think about that too.
Or a nice chain like Trent Williams.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So, it's tough, man.
There's
tough.
some lip readings go around Twitter right now. One is Justin Herbert on the sideline right before the timeout's called. It looks like he says, "I've never wanted a tie so bad." In the handshakes at the middle of the field, Eckler's talking to 47, and Austin Eckler looks like he says, "You guys were really going to kneel it?" And 47 nods and said yes. And Eckler says, "Oh my God."
Wow. See, that is a tough pill to swallow, man.
Bro, hollow man. Late entry here is fucking. Whew.
I feel like they're going to be breaking down the film of that overtime for weeks. Like,
I feel like this is going to be one of the hardest off seasons for a coach in a few years, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Think about it. Like, who's had a tougher off season lately? The Seahawks for not handing the ball to beast mode. Darrell Bevel, Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson after that year. But like, I'm not putting it up there with that, like as far as the magnitude of this game, obviously not, but this is a very dynamic thing to do. Try to win a football game in this day and age when you like the point is to go to the next step. So
I mean, if you were Chris Webber, you probably wouldn't even call timeout, right?
No chance. You got none left. You'd be like gun shy about it. That's okay. I talked on the stream about wanting to substitute David Culley for Brandon Staley. Like if he was a bench player that would come in for him in some situations, like if you could have a 2-coach system, Culley behind a boardroom desk on a fucking landline in Houston, just calling in like, nope, we're not going for it on 4th and 1. And then Staley taps back in. And it just came out that Bisaccia said he was trying to tie the game until the Raiders broke that long run. And, we said this on the stream. Holy shit, they're trying to tie until they realized how bad the Chargers were on defense. And they were bad all night in the run game. And that ended up being, listen, people are going to be mad at Brandon Staley, no question. But they should also be mad at the Chargers defense. I mean, there were a couple spots tonight that they absolutely imploded, and that was one of them. I mean, they would be tied. They would be.
So Daniel Carlson, 9 for 9 on lead-changing field goal attempts with less than 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter overtime this season, most in a single season in NFL history.
Holy shit, that guy's had a year.
Yeah, what a year and a way to end it. Like he ended one of the craziest NFL years.
I'll never forget that.
Week 18,
most parity.
Snuck a field goal in. Bing bong. To win it in overtime.
Well, hey, listen, shit happens, and it couldn't happen to a better team than the Raiders. It really couldn't. So congratulations to Raiders fans.
The Raiders.
And Max Crosby and Compton and those guys. And I am so sorry, Chase Daniel.
Wow, that might be a great feeling for Compton, man. The same week you get cut and then you get picked right back up and you win a game to go into the playoffs.
Ridiculous. Okay, so y'all have a good day or night or whenever you're listening. That was some fucking bullshit. Take it easy. Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.